Hello, wonderful people. Have you been catching yourself that you've been talking to yourself like you're a piece of garbage? This inner critic that just has taken over your life and you don't see any way out. It's something so negative, it robs you of all of your joy. Well, I'm here to help you with that. If you're new here, hi, I'm Cahir. I'm here to take you one step closer to self-love. Alright, this is going to be kind of more of an improv video. I usually have a script with me, or like bullet points of things I want to talk about, but I feel really inspired to talk about this because this other creator, Make Life Medicine, made a similar video, and I know there's probably tons of videos out there, but I just want to give my perspective of it because I think this is a constant message we need to tell ourselves over and over again if you are dealing with it, because this is the the basis of the channel. The channel is to get you back to the love of God inside of you, love of source, infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call it. But basically how you look at yourself, because I think also at this quantum level, have you heard of I mentioned the double slit experiment, like what you observe. I don't do it justice enough. It's like what you observe changes, like waves become protons. So okay, basically look it up. I'm sorry, I'm not giving it justice, but it's scientifically proven. How what you observe changes reality, right? And this is my theory, right? If you look at yourself through the eyes of love, you shall have it. If you look at yourself through the eyes of contempt, you shall have it as well, right? Because I'm a living example of it. I used to really look at myself through this eyes of contempt. Like I couldn't produce anything of value. Like you could see in my channel history, I started 6 or 7 years ago, and I gave up because I just didn't believe in myself. Even though my very first video I rewatched is how why it's important to have no resistance, and I liked it, but I remember sharing it to my mastermind group, right? I had this mastermind group about with spiritual people. And they're like, oh, I don't know if I like it. It's like the gameplay's too loud, which I know is valid critique. But actually, I watched it. It's not bad. It's not half bad, But I didn't have this inner cheerleader inside of me, because I don't see it. What is this disempowering voice? How does it serve you? How does it serve you? It just keeps you safe, right? It keeps you safe from taking any action, right? What I'm really exploring now in my journey is about this scrappiness, with if you watch Hamilton, I'm young, scrappy, and then I'm scrappy. That's a nice word. Scrappy is for me, you're doing the best you can. You're taking action towards your goals. Right? It's not perfect, but it's not supposed to be perfect. You're taking messy action. You're learning as you go. That's hot. I like it. That's what I do with my improv group, with these videos. I'm not really looking at results right now. I'm just looking at am I showing up for myself? And it feels good. I just don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. It feels really good to be scrappy and taking action towards your dreams, right? I'm thinking, why didn't I do it earlier? And it's because I had this intense inner critic. And I want to get to the source of it, guys, because no man is born burdened. Think about it. Right, in line with the Course in Miracles, we are aspects of the Creator, right? This divine spark is within all of us. I felt it. I'm sure you've had moments in your life where you felt the divine spark flow through you. If you had them, I'm sorry, but it's there. It's there. Even glimpses of it. You probably had it during childhood at some point. You know what I'm talking about, if this content resonates with you. However, there's this murkiness that was there for me, and I think for you as well, with this inner critic voice. Nothing you did mattered. I had so many days where I was what does it matter? What does it matter? Nothing matters. In some sense, everything is inherently neutral, so nothing really matters. It's about your perception. Okay, I'm getting too esoteric, but but in the video, she also talked about if you had somebody in your life that was saying half the harsh shit that you were saying to yourself, you would throw them to the curb. Hopefully. I was thinking that to myself too, like, why am I holding on to this voice? Why? And the reason is because I didn't know any better. I was also raised, this world is this tough, scarce, survival of the fittest. I lived in the suburbs of Chicago. Lock your doors, or else someone will, come and break and steal everything. Okay, but like I said, the base of the channel is that I was emotionally neglected as a child. I didn't even know emotional neglect was a thing. I didn't. Did you know it? Please write in the comments. I was, 29 years old. Actually, no, this happened recently, so 30. Okay, I was 30 years old when I found out what is complex PTSD, that your nervous system is wired. And also these are like verbal put downs. You're a yopa. You look like orphans. I sure also like these like almost every day I was yelled at for something. I just thought it was normal. It was normal to be yelled at. It was normal to be berated, to be disrespected. Also pointing out flaws in my body. Oh, you're too big. Also, you're too skinny, which was never the case. I got pimples on you. Let me pop those pimples. I remember like my mom, who's never been in the gym before, she said, "Ale chude nogi masz," like you have really real thin legs. I hate to say it, but I felt like I was being raised by two bullies, right? And I mean, from time to time, of course, I'm not saying that they're always bad, and they're not bad people, but the words that they said to me at a young age, it was against the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. All right, and then I internalized that voice. I didn't treat myself the way I wanted to be treated. Right? We all deserve kindness and respect, and it starts within. And you have to hold yourself to a higher standard, that you deserve this. You deserve kindness. You deserve respect. You deserve encouragement. And this is why I'm also making these videos. There's so much with this masculine stuff. It's about putting people down. I don't like that. It's like, the reason why you're not making money is because you're fucking lazy. You should be fucking hustling 10, 12-hour days. Do it, you fucking pussy bitch. You know what I'm talking about, like this Andrew Tate stuff. There's like no grace. And grace for me is the definition of the Course in Miracles. It says where our spirit is in a state of grace forever, so you are in a spirit of grace forever. And grace for me is like this, like I said, the scrappiness. It's okay to be scrappy, but it's like you love yourself along the journey. It's okay to make mistakes. I would make one simple mistake and I'm blown out of proportion. I remember if I spilled coffee, I'd be like, "Oh, what are you doing, you klutz?" And then you think about, having that consciousness, and then you interact with people, you're afraid of making mistakes. So I was quiet. Like I was quiet most of the time. Also, like just an environment in school, you're surrounded, so in America, with literally thousands of kids. Like, what do you think that does to like a nervous system? And then the thing is, we shame what happens in the forum. Like, oh, he's quiet, he's a shy guy. What a loser, coward. I know I'm mocking your voice, but I'm like saying what I experienced, But we see something wrong in form. When I say form, like in physical reality, someone's acting shy. Or someone has a problem, struggling, and we're like, oh, something's wrong with him. At least that's what I felt. I said something's wrong with me. I said, like, man, you're not getting encouraged. You don't feel like anything you do matters. You don't feel worthy enough to produce something. If you do something, if you make something, they're gonna criticize you. So why do it anyway? You're gonna make these YouTube videos. No one's gonna watch. You might as well just give up. Do you see that? This disempowering narrative. All it is just a story. One voice, the voice of love, is going to help me make videos and to pursue my dreams. The other voice is just going to keep me stuck. So why listen to it? Honestly, why? Why? Because you believe in some truth. You believe it has even an inkling of truth. And that's what hurts, right? But I'm here to remind you, it's an illusion. It's an illusion. Man, like... Because the thing is, you can give yourself the grace that you deserve. And I'm saying you deserve grace. Meaning, if you make a mistake, if you feel guilty, you screwed up, you don't berate yourself into oblivion, you don't call yourself a piece of shit. Like, imagine if your best friend made a mistake. Would you say, oh, you fucking piece of shit, how dare you fuck up? Which I had, you know, this is coming from a place because I had those thoughts. I said that stuff to myself. I don't want that for you. I don't want that. Grace is like, I'll acknowledge, okay, I made a mistake. Let's keep going. Let's fix it. Come on. Like, what other choice is there, guys? The other choice is to listen to that nasty voice. But what I realize now, that voice was created to protect me, right? Because it's such an awful thought to believe that your parents don't love you, right? And that's what CPTSD, the foundation of it, is like you have this belief your parents don't love you, right? For me, the spanking is awful, beratement, screaming, yelling, verbal put-downs, and my mind couldn't, compute that. Oh, your parents, they can be very toxic and violent people. It couldn't, it couldn't deal with that, so it turned it against itself. Is like, no, you're the problem. You're the problem. Like, maybe when you make enough money, they'll love you. My early 20s, I really believe that, because all is about money. How much money you're making? You're not making enough. You're a fucking loser because of it. Why don't you go to the US? Work a corporate job, make some money. Do it for me because I want that for you. Never asking, like, what do you want? What do you want, Cahir? What kind of life do you want? It's like, get the job, get a house, have children. Why? Because I told you to do it. What is that but control, right? I know I'm talking way too specific about my experience, because we're in this healing journey together, guys. I'm just here to remind you, and look at your source, right? Where do you think the source of that voice came from, right? Because even acknowledging you have a problem, or I would say a challenge of this inner critic, you're already on the right path to heal it. Because I used to just kind of be like, oh, that's just normal. And that's how I talk to myself, I guess. Even though I really, really, really didn't want to. I don't think we come into this planet and say, oh, I'm going to talk to myself like I'm a piece of garbage. I don't think so. But we just learned somewhere along the way that it's okay. And for me, it was self-abandonment. I didn't even know what self-abandonment was. I know I'm going to repeat a lot of myself in my videos, but all right. But this is important because I want to spread awareness that there's such a thing as self-abandonment, because I didn't know there's such a thing I didn't learn this until I was 30, man. I want to save you time. I don't know how old you are, but if you're attacking yourself, if you're calling yourself a piece of garbage, for whatever reason, it's self-abandonment. You're abandoning yourself. You're not on your team. You're not saying, hey, we got this. I love you. And it's like, I know, and this masculine sphere is like, oh, what is that, gay? Oh, that's gay. Being loving? That's what I had to deal with. With the people in my life that would say stuff like, oh, you're trying to love yourself? What? And I think, I watched some Dr. K videos that talked about self-love and how I think he didn't believe in it in the beginning, but I don't know if it's not really, it is self-love, but it's also the love that's inside of you, the divine, right? The Course in Miracles is not about finding love or understanding love. It's just about dissolving the barriers you have towards love. And for me, the biggest one was the barrier of love towards myself, right? And it just hampered me. I used to believe in it, like, oh, if I'm really critical, I'm going to be a perfectionist, so my work is going to be better. But then if I'm a perfectionist, my work will never be up to snuff, so I won't make anything. I won't get better. I won't get 1% better each video. No, I won't publish it. It's not perfect. That's what the voice does. I don't want that for you. Do you want that for yourself? No, we gotta get scrappy, guys. You know, like God made us to create. He did. It's in the Course of Miracles. It says, right? Because He's the creator. We're in His image, so He wants you to create. Of course He does. Of course He does, right? This is my journey. I don't know what journey is for you, what you want to create, but go out there, man. Get some scrappiness, right? Believe in the voice of love. Now, I've been on this journey for a long time, and this was the biggest hurdle I've had, was the journey of, well, just loving myself. And it's super important because, I believe the perception creates reality. That's what the Course is teaching us, right? And I want you to heal your perception of yourself. All it is, right? Sin is a lack of love. That's all it is, a lack of love towards yourself. Now, for me, it was understanding the core issues, right? The source, where did it come from, and healing that, doing the forgiveness work. And remember, having grace for yourself, understanding you're not going to change overnight. If there are success stories, please let me know. And of course, I'm going to recommend doing the Course in Miracles, reading it, and doing all the workbook lessons. Because I had to do it because there's so much resistance towards myself. There's so much self-hatred. I was like, there must be a better way. There must be. And I did all of them, and I'll do it again. All these workbook lessons, but it changed my life. That's why I'm feeling inspired to do these videos, because I just feel it viscerally. It has changed my life. It's changed my perception of myself. And now I'm 10 times more productive, and more importantly, 10 times more happy. I think you can, if you resonate with this material, you can feel it, right? But the thing is, like I say in every video, it's your guidance system. Even asking the question, how can I dissolve this barrier I have of love towards myself? And the answers will be given to you in whatever form. It could be from me, from some other YouTube video, book, but you just have to allow the process, right? Allow whatever to come into your experience. But I would implore everyone to meditate and to get back to center, because all it is just mind chatter, right? It's just a thought loop, and I know it's just a thought loop. But if you just look at it, at what it is, it's just like this unconscious programming that you've been repeating non-stop since you're a kid. But if you meditate, especially if you do it right before bed or early morning, and you're reprogramming your subconscious mind, because it's already in your subconscious mind. But we have the tools now, guys. We have the tools and the awareness to know, hey, I was programmed as a kid. I was programmed as a kid to not believe in myself, to believe I'm a piece of garbage, to believe nothing I do matters. And we can change that programming. Of course you can. Of course you can. If I can do it, you can do it. Like I said, if you knew half the stuff I said to myself, oh boy. And I look at myself with so much compassion. And I was dealing with that. And I know so many guys out there have this voice. And it sucks. But we don't have to do it alone anymore. This is also why I'm making these videos, so we can make a community to talk about it and to look at ourselves through infinite love and compassion. Infinite love and compassion and grace. Like, yeah, okay, I'll fall down, but someone is going to help me get back up. Isn't that just an amazing feeling? That we're not alone with our challenges. Someone has gone through it, and someone is willing to help you. Man, it's an amazing feeling, right? It's like the support network that, like, a healthy gamer changed my life. It did, because I was able to talk about this, and it helped me also find the source of negativity. And for me, of course, the Course in Miracles, when I had that dream, and after I did workbook 365, I had a dream of my mom yelling at me, and I said, "I will not abandon myself. I will not abandon myself." It's, for me, it's a mystical experience that, like, in my dream, it showed me what happened to me in childhood. I had 2 angry parents. It was right under my nose. And I have a feeling, if anyone has dealt with This disempowering voice, it came from childhood. Of course it did. Childhood trauma, emotional neglect, right? But the thing is, we can heal it, guys. We can heal it. Just remember, you are blessed, and the Holy Spirit is with you, even in your darkest moments, even in the gutter. It just takes the smallest willingness to say, hey, I need some help. I need some help. Holy Spirit, show me the way. It showed me the way, and I believe it can show you the way. Because you are a blessed son of God, and you deserve so much more. You deserve peace, joy, and love beyond measure. And it starts with your mind. It starts how you talk to yourself, man. You are amazing. You are a miracle. We're all miracles here, even if we misbehave. I know, but just take it where you are, right? One step closer to self-love, right? That's what I promise here. You know, what's it called? Under promise, over deliver. I hope that's living up to that. Just one step close. Just that's all. Take one step closer to self-love. You can do it daily, right? What's a quote? You know, the longest journey starts with the single step. Yeah, just take that step. Just take one step today, man. You can do it. I believe in you. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. May the Holy Spirit light up your path wherever it takes you. All right. Take care.